You have probably spent more money on plumbing services than you ever needed to, and the reason might surprise you. That bottle of Dawn dish soap sitting next to your kitchen sink can handle jobs that plumbing companies charge you a small fortune for. After 3 decades of working on pipes, I can tell you the pros use this stuff every single day and hope you never find out why. Today, I am walking you through 8 things plumbing companies do not want you to know about Dawn dish soap. Number 7 is one most people have never even thought of. And the bonus tip at the end is something that could save you real money on your water bill. The first thing plumbing companies do not want you to know is that Dawn unclogs slow drains without harsh chemicals. If your bathroom sink or shower drain is running slow, most people reach for one of those commercial drain cleaners, and most plumbing companies are more than happy to come out and charge you $150 to $300 to clear a slow drain. But here is what they will not tell you. Dawn dish soap, specifically the original blue formula, is one of the most effective grease cutters you can buy, and grease mixed with soap scum and hair is exactly what is slowing down your drain. Here is how you do it. Boil a full kettle of water, then squirt a generous amount of Dawn directly into the drain opening. I am talking about a good 2 to 3 tablespoons. Let it sit there for about 5 minutes so it can start working on that buildup. Then slowly pour the boiling water down the drain in a steady stream. The hot water activates the surfactants in the Dawn and melts through the grease, while the soap lifts it away from the pipe walls. For stubborn slow drains, repeat this process 2 or 3 times over the course of an hour. You will be amazed at how much faster the water starts flowing. The key here is that Dawn breaks the surface tension of the grease and allows the hot water to do its job. Unlike chemical drain cleaners that can corrode older pipes, especially if you have galvanized steel or older copper, Dawn is gentle on your plumbing while being tough on the clog. One important note, though. If you have PEX, do not use boiling water directly in those lines. Let the water cool just slightly before pouring. PEX can handle hot water, but repeated exposure to true boiling temperatures over 212 degrees Fahrenheit can weaken the material over time. The second thing they keep quiet about is that Dawn lubricates pipe fittings during assembly. Every professional plumber I have ever worked with keeps a small bottle of Dawn in their toolbox, and this is one of the biggest reasons why. When you are putting together drain assemblies, slip joint connections, or pushing rubber gaskets onto pipe ends, a thin coating of Dawn on the rubber or plastic makes everything slide together perfectly. Without it, you risk tearing a gasket, cross-threading a compression fitting, or just plain struggling with parts that should fit but will not cooperate. Here is the technique. Put a tiny drop of Dawn on your fingertip and run it around the rubber washer or gasket before sliding the fitting together. You only need the thinnest film. This is especially helpful when you are working under a sink in a tight cabinet where you do not have much leverage or room to maneuver. The Dawn lets the parts glide into position without forcing anything. And here is why this matters more than you might think. A torn gasket means a leak, and a leak under your sink can go unnoticed for weeks, leading to mold, water damage, and a repair bill that dwarfs whatever you saved by doing it yourself. Professional plumbers have used this trick for decades. It is one of those simple things that separates a clean installation from a frustrating one. Just make sure you are using original Dawn and not one of the versions with added moisturizers or hand lotions built in. Those additives can leave a residue that actually interferes with the seal over time. The third secret plumbing companies keep to themselves is that Dawn detects gas and air leaks in plumbing lines. This one has been a standard practice in the trades for as long as I can remember, and it works just as well for homeowners. If you suspect a small leak at a threaded gas fitting, a compression joint, or any connection in a pressurized line, you can find it with nothing more than Dawn and water. Mix about 1 tablespoon of Dawn into a cup of warm water and stir it gently until it is sudsy but not overly foamy. Then use a small brush or even a clean paintbrush and apply the solution directly over the fitting or joint you suspect. If there is even the tiniest leak, you will see bubbles forming right at the spot where air or gas is escaping. This is the exact same method that professional plumbers and gas technicians use on the job. The difference is they charge you $100 to $250 for a leak detection visit. Now, I need to be very clear about something. If you smell gas strongly or suspect a significant gas leak, do not try to diagnose it yourself. Leave the house immediately and call your gas company. The Dawn bubble test is best used for checking your own work after making a repair, verifying small suspicious spots, or testing after you have replaced a water heater connector or similar fitting. It is a confirmation tool, not a substitute for professional gas leak response. By the way, if this advice is helping, it's a small sample from my new book, 100 Old House Fixes That Save You Thousands. It shows old house fixes that can help you avoid expensive repair bills. To grab your copy, scan the QR code on screen or use the first link in the description. All right, let's continue. The fourth thing on our list is that Dawn frees stuck or seized plumbing parts. Anyone who has worked on an older home knows this pain. You go to remove a faucet aerator, a shower head, or a compression nut, and it will not budge. Corrosion, mineral deposits, and years of sitting in a damp environment have essentially welded the parts together. Before you reach for a pipe wrench and risk cracking a fitting or rounding off a nut, try this. Wrap a rag soaked in warm water and a generous amount of Dawn around the stuck fitting. Let it sit for 15 to 20 minutes. The surfactants in Dawn are designed to penetrate microscopic gaps, and that is exactly what they do here. They work their way into the tiny space between the threads and start breaking the bond that corrosion has created. After the soak, try loosening the fitting again. In many cases, it will turn with noticeably less resistance. For really stubborn connections, you can combine this with gentle heat from a hairdryer. Warm the fitting for a minute or two after the Dawn soak, and the expansion from the heat combined with the lubrication gives you the best chance of freeing it without damage. This is especially valuable when you are working with older chrome or brass fixtures that you want to preserve. Brute force cracks things. Patience and Dawn save things. Plumbing companies make good money replacing parts that homeowners broke while trying to remove them. This trick alone can save you that headache. The fifth thing plumbing companies would rather you not discover is that Dawn cleans and deodorizes garbage disposals better than any commercial product. If your garbage disposal smells terrible, you do not need those expensive disposal cleaning pods or tablets. You need Dawn and ice. Here is the method that works every time. Drop about 6 to 8 regular ice cubes into the disposal. Squirt a generous amount of Dawn directly onto the ice. Then turn on the cold water, add a slow, steady stream, and run the disposal for about 15 to 20 seconds. The ice chips act as a gentle abrasive that scrapes built up food residue off the grinding components and the interior walls. The Dawn cuts through the grease that traps odor causing bacteria, and the cold water solidifies any remaining grease so it gets chopped up and flushed away. After the ice is gone, let the water run for another 30 seconds to flush everything through. Your disposal will smell noticeably cleaner almost immediately. For ongoing maintenance, do this once a week. It takes less than a minute and it keeps your disposal running efficiently and smelling fresh. The reason plumbing companies do not advertise this trick is simple. Disposal cleaning and maintenance calls are easy money. They show up, spend 10 minutes doing essentially this same process with a fancier product name, and charge you $75 or more for the visit. The sixth thing that stays behind closed doors in the plumbing industry is that Dawn prevents toilet clogs as a first response. Before you grab a plunger, before you even think about calling a plumber for an emergency clog removal that can run you $150 to $275, try this. Squirt about a quarter cup of Dawn directly into the toilet bowl. Then carefully pour a pot of hot water from about waist height into the bowl. Not boiling water, because extreme heat can crack porcelain. Just hot water from the tap turned all the way up, or water you have heated to about 120 to 140 degrees Fahrenheit. Let it sit for 20 to 30 minutes without flushing. The Dawn goes to work breaking down the organic material causing the clog, while the hot water helps soften and loosen everything. After the waiting period, try a gentle flush. In many cases, especially with clogs caused by excess toilet paper or organic waste, the clog will release on its own. This works because Dawn is specifically formulated to break down organic fats and proteins, which is exactly what most toilet clogs are made of. Now, this will not work on toy cars your grandkid flushed or a washcloth that fell in. Those are mechanical blockages that need a snake or professional removal. But for the everyday organic clog, Dawn and hot water solve the problem more often than you might expect. The seventh thing you probably never considered is that Dawn keeps outdoor drains and gutters flowing. Most homeowners focus on their indoor plumbing and forget that their outdoor drainage system needs attention too. Floor drains in the garage, patio drains, downspout discharge points, and French drain openings can all develop organic sludge buildup over time. Leaves, pollen, dirt, and natural oils create a sticky layer inside these drains that gradually restricts flow. Twice a year, in spring and late fall, mix about 2 tablespoons of Dawn in a 5-gallon bucket of hot water. Pour this solution slowly into each outdoor drain opening. Follow it up with a strong flush from the garden hose for about 2 minutes per drain. The Dawn breaks down the organic film that lines the inside of the drain pipes, and the water volume pushes the loosened material through the system. This is particularly important for older homes, where exterior drain lines may have slight bellies or low spots that collect debris. Keeping these lines clean prevents standing water near your foundation, which is one of the leading causes of basement moisture problems. A plumbing company will charge you $100 to $200 for an exterior drain cleaning. A bottle of Dawn and your garden hose cost you practically nothing. The eighth and final thing plumbing companies do not want you to know is that Dawn tests toilet tanks for silent leaks. A silent toilet leak is one of the most expensive hidden problems in any home. Your toilet can be leaking from the tank into the bowl 24 hours a day without making a sound. And it can waste hundreds of gallons of water every month. That shows up on your water bill as a mystery increase that most people never trace back to the toilet. Here is the test. Remove the tank lid and squeeze about 5 or 6 drops of Dawn into the tank water. Do not flush. The Dawn will tint the water very slightly and give it visible surface characteristics that clear water does not have. Wait about 15 to 20 minutes and then look into the bowl without flushing. If you see any soapy residue, slight film, or sudsy traces in the bowl water, your flapper valve is leaking. That means water is continuously seeping past the flapper from the tank into the bowl, and your fill valve keeps running to compensate. Replacing a toilet flapper costs about $5 to $8 at any hardware store and takes less than 10 minutes. But if you do not know the leak exists, you could be paying an extra $20 to $50 per month on your water bill indefinitely. Many people use food coloring for this test, but Dawn actually works just as well and will not stain your porcelain like certain dye colors can. This simple test twice a year can save you real money. And now for the bonus tip that professional plumbers swear by. If you are going to use Dawn for any of these plumbing applications, always buy the original blue Dawn Ultra. Not Dawn Platinum, not Dawn with Oxy, not any of the specialty scented versions. The original blue formula has the highest concentration of the surfactants that make all of these tricks work. The other versions contain additives like fragrances, oxygen boosters, and skin conditioners that can actually leave residues inside your pipes or interfere with the cleaning and lubricating properties you are counting on. Professional plumbers have standardized on the blue bottle for a reason. It works, it is consistent, and it does not introduce anything into your plumbing system that should not be there. Keep a dedicated bottle under your kitchen sink or in your tool area so you always have it when you need it. Dollar for dollar, that $3 to $4 bottle of original Blue Dawn is one of the most versatile plumbing tools you will ever own. Before you go, I want you to know about my new book, 100 Old House Fixes That Save You Thousands. It shows practical fixes for older homes so you can stop guessing and avoid expensive repair bills. Just scan the QR code on screen or click the link in the description to get your copy. Thanks for watching.